stopping me. Saying they know I'm a prodigy. Saying these be watching me. Got your trees in the spot, and I just hit 1 million views. So much better, I don't know what to do. Stack it up, gon' call me a coupe. I be dripping, they calling me soup. I be dripping, they calling me soup. Stack it up, gon' call me a coupe. I be dripping, they calling me soup. 15, when I saw my first 100 bids. Got my first 100 bids and made it through the running, man. They know how we coming, man. Gotta get this money.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the New York Giants. It's an Indian summer afternoon, perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. First carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. And that one blown up. Quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. They'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now the rookie first-rounder from Penn State, Saquon Barkley. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. They're back now to the original line of scrimmage thanks to that 8-yard gain. 3rd down now to follow. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now back to throw. He'll air this one toward Coleman. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
So that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here's Brad Wing now to punt it away on 4th down. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now a first carry for Deontay Foreman, who was lost to the Achilles injury last year. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. To throw on 2nd is Watson. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. If you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good. That man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Texans have taken the early lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. New York set to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks, because then the defense has the advantage.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Looking for Shepard deep. So they took a shot there on 3rd down. Couldn't get it. Now it's 4.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. And now out comes Houston. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in this 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
They'll start the drive with a give to Foreman. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
The good old toss play, and this time they go to the left side, so give a lot of credit to the offensive line. Center, guard, tackle, able to seal that side. But the guy that we don't give enough credit to, wide receivers. They have to do a great job of blocking downfield, otherwise that play can be spilled in the backfield. In this case, everyone handled their responsibilities, and they picked up really nice yardage.
Here's Watson now on second down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Fuller. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a first down. On first down, it's Watson. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Watson now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Here's Watson. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. On second down, here's Watson. His pass caught at the 4. And he's brought down. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. Toss, here's Foreman. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down to...
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. DJ Reader breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Detroit! Back to throw here. He's got a man. It's Corey Coleman. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Here's Brad Wing now as he's on to punt for New York. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. This is brought in at the 21. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
He's going to loft one deep over the middle. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start. The game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Josh Morrow able to drop him for a loss of 4. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Out of the gun, Watson. And that is incomplete.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. And New York set to take the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big first down to get away from the end zone. So that last play gives them a little more space now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Aaron Colvin there to make the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dylan Cole. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TV.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over. Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Giants ready to come out now. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. And you remember pre-draft, there's a lot of speculation that the Giants should look for their future quarterback at number 2 with a great possibility. Remember, Sam Darnold from USC was still on the board, but they passed on him to take this runner, Saquon Barkley. And this is exactly why. They think he can extend the life of Eli Manning's career and give them 1,000-yard seasons year after year. They haven't had a 1,000-yard season since 2012. Ahmad Bradshaw did it then. Back to throw now on first down. And he floated one out there incomplete. Evan Ingram was the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down. This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Whitney Merciless able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of a yard. The Giants on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11. He'll drop to throw. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dylan Cole. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit. Yeah,
you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
After the interception, here's Watson. Throw left side complete to QT. And he gets it down to the 32. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Oh, yeah! 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Watson hands this to Foreman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Mario Edwards Jr. there to bring him down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
From the gun on third, Watson. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And New York set to take the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 yards is the pick up there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. As they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The Giants on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun!
He'll look to throw. He finds Coleman. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll look to throw now on first down. And that's incomplete. He was looking for Evan Ingram, the tight end, and that'll bring up second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. And on 3rd and inches, we're going to get a whistle and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Back to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side and almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. They'll run with Barkley. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Dylan Cole. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Off of play action, it's Watson. He'll buy some time right. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll run with Foreman. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And here comes the Texans now. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They go play action here on first down. Flushed out right. he's able to get up here to the 26. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Watson now looking to throw on 2nd down. Steps away, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
Black 22! Black 22!
From the gun, here's Watson. And Thomas has it. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Well, those Giant fans, you know that they love seeing Saquon Barkley wearing their jersey, but it's interesting. He actually grew up a Jets fan.
Yeah, I wonder what his dad was thinking. I wonder what Big Al was thinking on draft night. Had to be so happy for his son. But they
under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
I think we've seen this before. If someone's down 3 scores, that situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Now let's go! 3-19!
They'll drop the throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball to their territory.
A carry for Foreman. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. The safety Landon Collins there to make the tackle.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Here's Watson now on second down. And he's going to have the hook up to QT. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. So that last play gives him a little more space now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. On 1st down, Watson. He's going to air one out. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Now a 1st down throw, Watson. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and it's 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Back to the air, Watson on 2nd down. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
The Texans on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. That's good for a Texan 1st down, a 12-yard pickup. Watson now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. That's caught. It's Thomas. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A good pickup there, 26 yards. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They'll come out in the pistol. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
The holding penalty, that puts them in an unenviable spot here as they try again on 3rd and goal. Back to throw, Watson. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds like counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
Now out come the Giants. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? Well, a lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. The Giants on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw here. Hard throw, incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a second.
And how about this, a fake? And this is caught, and a fake will work. He's going to have a 1st down. The trick play works. Excellent execution, 18 yards on that fake, and a 1st down. He'll drop to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. Following the fumble recovery, Watson. Hopkins on the ground over the middle. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Quite the turnaround from a week ago where he threw 4 interceptions. He hasn't had an interception in this game, and he told us during the week, my goal, goose egg. He's achieving that so far.
And what we're seeing is a guy that you can win with, all right? Because anyone who can make that type of an adjustment to shake off a really horrendous week the week before and come back and play mistake-free football to this point, yeah, that's a guy I want to play with, that's for sure.
Now Foreman. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter.
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Kiki QT, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Justin Reed. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. The drive starts with Foreman on the ground, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back at New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Watson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
Richmond.
Faking the give. Now Watson. Flush to his right. And avoids the contact by sliding. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Target.
From the red zone now, Watson. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. New York set to take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They begin with a run by Barkley. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now Saquon Barkley. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The Giants on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Looking to throw. Flexing his muscle at the 30. Coleman has it here right side. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another 1st down. time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. Kayvon Webster on the defensive side able to get a hand in.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
Detroit!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Bernardrick McKinney in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon. The Giants on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19. He'll look to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. DJ Reader. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Jadeveon Clowney getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Here's Foreman. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That good for 22 and a 1st down. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Foreman's Achilles apparently back to 100% if that last run was any indication. The Texans with a 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Again, it's Foreman, and he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So jumping from his free safety spot.
That tells you how aggressive they are on defense, doesn't it? They get everyone involved. He was a little too fast on that play.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking for them today, but if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. One final try now from Manning. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So, Charles, are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So for the Texans, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the Giants, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the New Orleans Saints. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Along